So in this video, we're going to talk about cleaning your list. So we've already talked about how you source your list, how do you enrich that list, and how do you clean that list. And so what we're going to do here is just talk about the main email providers and how they work. So basically, to my understanding, if anybody tells me I'm wrong, I'll change the video. To my understanding, what these email providers are doing is they have a bunch of IP addresses that they send these kind of like test SMTP checks to the domains to check if they have an MX record. They check like a couple of factors. And so basically, if they do a lot of checks and say they were only to check email addresses that are valid, the IP's reputation would never be hit. The IP's reputation gets hit when it checks an email that's actually invalid. And so then the IP reputation goes down. All this is to basically say when you're testing, when you're looking at email cleaning tools, they all work the same way. The process is the same. Nobody here on this list that I'm going to show you has reinvented the wheel on email validation. The big difference is you're paying for a pool of IP addresses. And even if you don't understand that, I just want you to know that like you're not paying for any separate process. You're just paying for like who has the cleanest IPs that you're validating from. And so what these tools will do is clean your list so that if you ever send an email and the email is wrong, you get a bounce back. If you get too many bounces, that's obviously going to affect your email reputation. We want to keep that bounce like around, like we want to keep it lower than 2%, but like 2 to 3% is acceptable. And so these tools, this is exactly what they do, is they try to prevent you from bouncing. And these are the best tools that I found, and I'm going to explain my preference for all of them. And so debounce is our daily email validation tool. It, in my opinion, has the best blend between pricing and quality, and you'll just see that when we get into pricing, right? So when we look at this pricing, it's like 10,000 verifications and it's 0.0015 per verification. Okay, great. Zero Bounce, I would say, is probably the market leader as far as email validation goes. It's really, really, really good. The only problem is that it's pricier. And so when I think about these prices, right? So if we want to look at like 10,000, right? So we want 10,000, it's $64 and they're $15. Is Zero Bounce, what's the difference between these? Is Zero Bounce really 4 times better at email verification than Debounce? No, it's going to be marginal. And so when I think about this from an ROI perspective, that's what I'm thinking is like, yeah, I don't use Zero Bounce because the difference between 10,000 emails here and 10,000 emails there is kind of crazy. And so if my list is super small and I need each and every one to be really, really perfect, if I'm like only validating a list of 5,000, I'll go to Zero Bounce though, because then like I know that I'm getting the best quality on the market. So debounce we use kind of daily. Zero Bounce we use, if it's a really, really small list and we really need it to be right. And then there's some AppSumo deals that you can get as well. Rayun is really, really good. Honestly, the big reason we use Debounce and not Rayun is one, because they allow for 2,100 credits a day. We just would burn through that super fast. Maybe I should evaluate like 4,500 credits per day, but I think we would really burn through that pretty quick. I know they have this 700K lifetime credits. Maybe I should buy this. I don't know. But yeah, people really like this tool. We just use Debounce because it integrates into our workflows better. And this one does it pretty well. There's another one called Email List Validation that is super, super cheap. Super cheap. And so instead of getting email credits daily, what they do is you can buy 3 million credits per year, 5 million credits per year for $295. If I wanted 5 million credits, let's put it in here. 5, 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, 5 million credits. Please contact us. All right, you got to talk to Enterprise. A million is going to be almost $2,000 on Debounce. And let's see, it's $500 on Debounce. Okay. Oh no, this is Zero Bounce. And then here it's $295. So it's the cheapest if you were to go to email list validation. I've had a couple problems with them in the past. It wasn't that it was fine. I just, don't use it anymore. Debounce fits into our portfolio. It's like email list validation will give us problems sometimes. Zero Bounce is really expensive. Debounce is kind of that middle ground for us. And so when it comes to email cleaning, our go-to is debounce, but for high quality, zero bounce is it, and then we'll flop between like Rayoon or email list validation. And yeah, so everyone, you need to clean your list before you upload. These are the tools that we use to clean our lists. And yeah, no secrets here. This is exactly how it happens.